For today, I'm Geunwoo Kim, another student from the School of Public Policy. Geunwoo received his bachelor's degree from Inha University in South Korea in computer engineering and information. What a career change. Since then, he has held several positions, including work with Korea International Cooperation Agency, KOICA, and Korean National Commission for UNESCO, KNCU. In addition, Geunwoo served as a volunteer in Paraguay for 2.5 years, working with a Bureau of Secretary to the President of Paraguay. At the same time, he participated in a project for the promotion of health literacy in Paraguay, operated by volunteers. Through this experience, Geunwoo changed career paths and is currently pursuing a master's degree in George Mason University's School of Public Policy, focusing on education in developing countries. Geunwoo Kim.
Before I begin start my presentation, I would like to show you those facts. First, this map indicates health literacy worldwide, developed by UN Human Development Network in 2009. Except for the Africa continent, most of the nations have more than 70% of literacy. Here's another map showing change from 2009 to 2011. Again, exception for some of the nations in Africa, many nations improved their literacy level. In the international level, illiteracy population gradually declines officially. Although the total literacy level is improving, but there's another literacy that is stagnating. That is health literacy, and my presentation is going to be related to health literacy issues. This presentation will introduce health literacy education programs in developing and developed countries, and a project namely Books for Paraguay. This is abstract both in English and Korean. While I'm reading the Korean abstract, you can read the English version to better understand of this project. 본 발표에서는 건강지식 이해능력 헬스 리더시의 중요성을 밝히고 개발도상국과 선진국에서 실행된 건강지식 이해능력 증진 프로그램 중 실패한 사례와 성공한 사례를 비교하게 됩니다. 이 비교 분석을 통해 프로그램들의 특징을 밝혀내고 현재 파라과이에서 진행 중인 북스콜 파라과이 프로그램의 개선 방안을 제안하고자 합니다. First of all, these are the main contents of my presentation. I will present a program named Books for Paraguay, which is an ongoing project in Paraguay. Now, next, the health literacy is one of the most important terms in my presentation. In this section, I will explain why health literacy, what is health literacy, and then why it is important. Second, I will introduce health literacy programs in developed countries and developing countries. Third, I will introduce the outcomes of the programs related to health literacy. Finally, I will explain about the Books for Paraguay again, and I just want to give some suggestions to the program. Before explaining what is health literacy, I want to briefly introduce about the project called Books for Paraguay. Books for Paraguay starts with a slogan, "One Nation through a book." 문문도 for libro. This program has been conducted with volunteers now Paraguay, focusing on promotion of the health literacy and basic literacy. This is the picture I've shown before at the beginning. The literacy in Paraguay was over 90%, but at the left side is Paraguay. Yeah, it is over 90%, but however, this is not fair representation. The reality which I personally experienced in there is quite different from the research or numerical data or statistical data like this report. And this reality of lower literacy level motivates the project Books for Paraguay. So while I had been in Paraguay 2.5 years, I was volunteer for the agency. My duty was managing voice over IP, which Chang already explained, the voice over IP. In 13 Paraguay governmental departments, beside my duty, I was teaching street children with other volunteers. This effort became the original motivation of the Voice for Paraguay. As the main project of Voice for Paraguay, they developed and distributed these books. This book called Levi Connie, Who Has Golden Teeth. It is for educating the importance of oral education in daily life, directing to just aging from 5 to 12 years old. This book aimed to teach 333 project, which is brushing teeth 3 times per day, brushing teeth after eating in 3 minutes, and brushing teeth for 3 minutes. This project is a method which can improve oral health substantially. As you see in this project, this example, this book not only helps improve general literacy, but also raise recognition of importance of health. In other words, a project like this project will help improving both general literacy and health literacy, both of them. I will explain this program in more detail later. Based on the example I just showed, health literacy is an important area of development. To have a clear picture, I will explain some key terms and definitions. First, health information is, first one is one of most dominated sources which is from doctor's office. And third one is newspaper and magazine and books. What I need to focus is second one. Is internet. Considering the acquiring information from doctor's office is traditional, internet is new emerging channel to get health information right now. Therefore, without a doubt, internet significantly contributes to promote acquisition of health information and public health. It is useful conduit for information, and it narrows gap in health information among people who have internet. Some may ask me why health information is important. One author said quality health information has been shown to contribute to better healthcare outcomes. It refers to that relevant and appropriate health information may significantly help promote individuals' health and a causal relationship between weak health literacy and poor health outcome has been reported in several studies. Because like this, author insists that identifying whether health information is appropriate or not is most difficult stumbling block to consumers. Many people have problem with finding and judging the reliable information. Moreover, irrelevant information may drive consumers at least. Therefore, individuals' capacity to identify and finding good and reliable information is important. Let's suppose if an individual do not have this capacity. In other words, imagine that public inability to identify appropriate health information is a great amount of source, and government's inefficiency of conveying health information to public. These two factors may cause harm like high tendency of hospitalization and high dependency of emergency rooms. As a result, this lower literacy level of health may cause tremendous expenditure that are avoidable. The expenditure is approximately 73 billion in healthcare sector in US annually. These problems which I introduced is resulted from acquisition of inappropriate health information. So consequently, to obtain appropriate health information, the necessity of education for health information and health literacy is essential. So being aware of that necessity, many countries endeavor to make health program and health education. I drew some table about the history. Recently, health program focus on increasing awareness of health information and promoting health status rather than just prevent disease. While the main role of disease prevention still remains as fundamental role in developing countries. Currently, health programs begin to better understand between health policies and influence to public. Now many researches has been conducting in health literacy and health literacy programs. Like I say, developed countries understand the importance of health literacy education, but developing countries are just starting to realize it. Here are some examples of health literacy education in developing countries. One is Nepal, one is Nigeria. The result of these programs are different. Nepal's program continuously implementing, while the Nigeria case is stopped right now. One difference between two is whether the program take care of the people's needs or not. In Nepal's case, they offer many programs that means targeted people's needs, such as health screening for women or vocational programs. Another noticeable difference is sustainability. In Nepal, more people voluntarily gather in the library and share their information, even though it was aided by a small NGO, because it was actively managed by community. It became sustainable by itself. In Nigeria case, the program does not exist right now due to lack of community involvement. Many official development assistance ODA from developed countries have been failed, like Nigeria case. It proves need of well-structured and well-managed programs are and sustainability of the programs. But Nepal's case succeed. It proves the need of well-structured and well-planned programs and sustainability of the program. Here are the outcomes of the health literacy program described with two categories. One is health outcome and one is social outcomes. As health outcomes, reduced morbidity, disability, reduced avoidable mortality are expected, and as a social outcomes, functional independence, autonomy, equity, the personal empowerment are ultimately expected to be achieved. There are direct and indirect effect of health literacy education that are expected to happen. These outcomes advance people's quality of life, not only people but also institution or community are empowered as well. Consequently, these outcomes encourage individual and community and institution to raise their voice up. The civic voice greatly influences on government decision. Accordingly, the voice from them gives pressure to government to expand their health expenditure and allocate many resources into public health status. To conclude it into a simple equation, I would like to say health plus literacy plus education equals empowerment. I want to add another cases in developing country which I would explain, which name is Books for Paraguay. To briefly introduce the program, the Books for Paraguay is an ongoing project in Paraguay, supported by Books International. The organization Books for Paraguay consists of South Korean branch and Paraguayan branch. It is doing the distribution of storybooks and oral healthcare campaign, based healthcare center, and seminar for instruction and teachers. This process has been well operated until now, but there are some challenges right now. Based on the finding in Nepal and Nigeria case, some suggestions would be offered on this program. First, even though the focus area has dispatched just volunteers by KOICA agencies, the tenure of volunteers are likely just for 2 years. For the sustainability, the program not only instructing teachers but also community involvement is needed, which like Nepal's case. In Nepal's case, in case of Nepal's community library, many people voluntarily participate to manage the library, and they feel proud of it to do so. Moreover, they eagerly join the groups which are operated by the libraries to share their information. Second suggestion is training and vocational classes. Meanwhile, children have been educating, the parents of them can participate in vocational classes. Considering Paraguay industry relies on textile manufacturing to sell souvenirs for the visitors, a sewing class would be affordable. It will be my future research as critical method to improve the health programs. Yes, thank you for listening.